Hello, fellow puckheads. Well, as I said, we're in the early stages of NHL March Madness, which includes a little more than half of April. And we're down to the final 45 days left of the season, including today. So, here is a look at the playoff picture entering the first Monday of March. As the Eastern Conference standing shows, it's the Florida Panthers somehow leading the conference. Don't know how. But yeah, the Panthers, the Bruins, and the Maple Leafs represent the top three in the Atlantic. The Atlantic's pretty interesting. It's kind of deep. This year, as while the Metropolitan's top three consists of the Rangers, the Hurricanes, and the Flyers. The Rangers lead by 6 points over the Hurricanes, but in the Atlantic it's a bit closer. Florida has a 2 point lead over Boston. And the Flyers, of course, are the big surprise because they've been sputtering for a good bit, but here they are in the top three. As for the wild card situation, I said the Atlantic's kind of deep this year, and both of the wild card positions are held by Atlantic teams. The Red Wings, another surprise, and the Lightning. Though, actually, I said the Wings are surprised, though some fans, myself included, kind of expected them to kind of get to this point to finally end that playoff drought. Yes, they have a playoff drought. It's been, I think the last time they made the playoffs was the 15-16 season. So here it is 8 years later, and they're on the verge of ending this drought. Interesting. So yeah, and Tampa and of course Tampa and Detroit are both tied with 72 points, but Detroit has 2 games in hand that gives them the edge. Behind that playoff line, the Islanders are the first team out of the playoff line, but they are 6 points behind at 66 points. The Patrick Waugh hires kind of worked out. We'll see how it goes for the rest of the season. The Capitals have 65. The Devils, who are struggling, have 64. The Penguins and the Sabres have 62. Now the Penguins, they're in dire straits right now. They are in danger of missing the playoffs for the second straight year. They haven't missed the postseason back-to-back seasons since since a little bit before the lockout. Remember, last year was the first time they missed the playoffs since the 05-06 season, which was Crosby's rookie year. But that year was their fourth straight season without playoffs. But yeah, and as for Buffalo, it's kind of been disappointing because the Sabres were expected to end that playoff drought, and for the looks of it, it's not going to happen this year. The Western Conference is interesting as usual. The Central, the top three, the Jets, Stars, and the Avalanche in that order. It's pretty cluttered. The Jets and Stars are tied for first place with 83 points. The Avs are behind with 79. The Jets have a lot of games in hand, though. I think as the schedule progresses, the games in hand will decrease. I think the Avs are going to have a few more hiatuses. That's going to help. Though, meanwhile, we just have to hope that the Jets and Stars kind of get knocked out a bit. Well, maybe the Jets, because the Stars actually have played more games than we have. They played 63, and tonight is game 63 for us. But yeah, the Jets played game 60 yesterday against the lowly Sabres, so they have those games in hand going. But and they've been winning them, which is an important thing. It's good to have games in hand, but you got to win them, and the Jets are. So yeah, it's amazing. A lot of this came with Cotter out, and remember they got rid of Wheeler. Maybe Wheeler was holding them back. Who knows? As for the Pacific, it's still Vancouver leading the division, but look who's in second place. Edmonton. Oh, God. Remember when they sucked? That was fun, wasn't it? But, yeah, Edmonton's actually ahead of Vegas in the standings. Though Vancouver's a big lead, 9 points. They have 85. Edmonton is 76, and Vegas, who's been struggling a bit, they have 73. And they're coming off losing to Boston of all. Not Boston. Well, they did lose to Boston, but they also lost to Buffalo of all teams. As for the wild card positions, it's the Kings and the Predators. And the Kings have been sputtering too, but they managed to get back above ground. And the Predators have been red hot. They've won 8 straight. My goodness. The Flames are the first team behind the line, but they are 7 points out. They're 7 points out, as are the Blues. The Wild are close behind. Let's say the Flames and Blues at 65. The Wild at 64. The Kraken have 63. That's kind of where that's kind of where it ends because below them is a bunch. Below them are a bunch of teams, the Coyotes, Ducks, Sharks, and Blackhawks, who kind of don't have a prayer. But it's early. Well, it's late, but it's early. What was Yogi Bear's line? It gets late early around here. But yeah, it's late, but it's early in the late period. There's still a bit of time. There's still a bit of time. Remember, this is the home stretch, but it's only when it gets to like the last week of March when it gets kind of desperate for some teams, and when the calendar turns to April, it's pretty much really do or die. But anyway, it's gonna be interesting. Of course, no one has clinched a spot yet because it's too early. I think even the smallest Magic numbers are like in the double digits as far as points. So of course, no one has clinched yet. I don't expect any teams to clinch this week unless something really crazy happens. But in any event, that is a look at the playoff picture entering the final 45 days left of the season. And if you like this video, click the like button. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe if you want more. If you're on TikTok, feel free to hit that follow button. And I'll be back probably next week for another update because I don't expect any teams to clinch between now and next Monday. So stay tuned.